Hello and welcome. My name is Daffy Roth, and this is the final episode, I believe, of Syphon Filter, the Omega Strain for the PlayStation 2. In today's episode, we are going to be raiding Kiev. So, sadly, I believe this is the only way to get the actual good ending is to do the team objective, which is stop the missiles from launching. And yeah, ain't gonna happen, I don't think. But I'll be able to find the good ending video somewhere, I'm sure, as well as whatever files that may need to be done. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, let's go ahead and just jump into it here. U.S. on war footing. Ambassadors from the U.S. and Russia have been recalled as tensions continue to mount between the United States and Russia. The State Department has issued travel warnings to all U.S. citizens throughout Europe as the world braces for an imminent terrorist attack against Moscow, for which Russian officials hold the U.S. responsible. UN officials have expressed hope for a peaceful resolution. Mission data. Mission plan Ukraine. Our assault on the base is going to be a surgical strike. I will head directly into the missile silo and attempt to reach the missile. Stone will take a team into the above ground compound to deal with the CDP troops there. Ivankov could launch at any time, so we have to work quickly. So top CDP under Mykolaiv. So Mikhail Powolsky, Igor Lenov, Oleg Petrenko, Oldav Savin, and this is going to be a fucking nightmare, I have a feeling. Zurich was almost a disaster. I had underestimated Nicolescu. There were no documents on Meta Global Funds Ltd. We did get lucky to find a paper trail that led us to one of his estates, a villa in Montenegro. See my report on Montenegro for details. Gabe, you may not have found evidence on Meta Global Funds, but the evidence you found in Montenegro is enough to convince me that you were right. Sorry, I got lucky. And this is all the... Gabe, this is interesting. One of the files I downloaded from Nicolescu's computers was not incriminating for him. It's definitely worth looking into. Seems like someone we know is getting a petty, hefty salary on the side. Very interesting. This information could prove useful. Keep this confidential for now. Gabe, the team succeeded in planting my virus into Nicolescu's mainframe. Give me the word and I'll launch it. Very good. Keep it simmering until I get more evidence. Then we'll have a surprise waiting for Nicolescu. Gabe, we found another interesting Nicolescu funds customer. Seems as if the ALA also did their banking through him. At least funds were transferred through an account here before being transferred to Martinique to Paris. This is interesting. We'll turn this information over to the federal officials. Maybe if they can cut all of ALA fundings, they can shut them down for good. And this is just pictures of you know, I could have gotten that mission plan before actually going into there. Jesus. Small team tactical combat. This section provides a brief overview of STTC, which assumes 4 agents working closely together to achieve a goal. The broad outline of combat tactics can be broken down into 5 general rules. Take cover, use strength to your advantage, and never leave yourself open to enemy fire. Your teammates cannot help you if you're dead. Advance and cover. Work together. Team member A advances while team member B provides cover. Roles are then reversed. Flank and surround. Hang an enemy position from the flank will always be more effective than from the front. Plan your targets. When confronting multiple entrenched enemies, plan which team members will be hitting which targets. Diversionary fire. Providing diversionary fire can allow a teammate to achieve a flanking or other superior position. Mission plan. Seal Korea. I tracked down Young Jung Kim's contact with the DPARK and have confirmed Aramov's assertion that Ivankov has a nuke. The CDP traded the virus for it, evidently working through a traitor in Murakawa's organization. That's probably why Murakawa was shut down. Political data. All forces are mobilizing according to plan. Operation United Freedom. We have 4 hours to order a stand down. After that, there's no turning back. I know I've been in contact with the president. He knows what we're doing now and knows we may be the only hope to diverting this disaster. Casebook entry 017. Zurich was almost a disaster. I underestimated Nikolescu almost fatally. I assumed that the arrogance of a man like him would make him feel safe in his tower, that he would keep copies of all Meta Global records, transaction, business dealings there, safe within his fortress. He was smarter and more sophisticated than I had any way of predicting. Yeah, I worked very carefully to completely surround himself with plausible deniability. It wasn't until my confrontation with Mara in Montenegro, though, that I realized I'd become obsessed with the conspiracy. I was about to let a lot of innocent people die because I could not let go of it. I now had the location of Ivankov's Chechen base. I would deal with Nikolescu, but only after Ivankov was taken care of. Alright, well.
Of course they didn't find anything. There was nothing to find. I can't be touched, and you know it. If Logan's behind this, I want him. You understand me? Talk. What are you saying? How could she escape? What in the hell is going on? Where is Logan?
The base is well guarded from the north and east. Team 2 will have to be especially cautious.
How many troops are we dealing with?
She didn't know, but assume the worst. Ivankov will have his best men concentrated within the base itself. It really won't matter how many there are.
How much time we got?
None. The deadline given by the Politburo is tomorrow at midnight. We have to stop Ivankov before then.
This is what we've been waiting for. Let's go.
Gabe, wait! I just wanted to tell you I'm sorry. You were right. If you hadn't gone to Zurich, we may never have found Ivankov's base.
No, Leon. You're the one who was right. I didn't go for the right reasons. I got very lucky. Don't worry. My head's clear now. I know exactly what we have to do.
Что-то не так, я это чувствую. Я меняю график. Мы должны начать процедуру запуска немедленно. Нужно, чтобы в нижних тоннелах все немедленно переобулись противопожарные костюмы. Вы четверо. Мои старшие офицеры. Люди выполнят свой долг, товарищи. Я это надебалюсь. Когда наступает конец, мы все готовы умереть за наше дело. Мы не допустим, чтобы смертью Живкова, Пуликовского и Ющенко оказались напрасными. За наше дело!
Kiev, Ukraine, Chechen terrorist base, filed by Leon Zing, CO. We don't have much time. Ivankov has a nuclear-armed missile somewhere beneath the military base, and the CDP have made it very clear they intend to launch it against Moscow. This is a straightforward military op. Your primary task is personnel control. I want you to sweep the complex looking for Ivankov's top brass and eliminate them. We'll try to break the terrorist morale before the firefight begins. Stone will be planting C4 in strategic locations to mask our escape. Gabe is going to head directly into the silo to bypass ground security completely. I'm going to sweep the forest area and keep the LZ clear. Good luck. Alright, well, this is now my 5th time trying to record this. My last time audio got all screwed up, I don't know. Anyways, I've already beaten the game. I wasn't happy with the way the recording turned out, so I'm just redoing it. We're not going to be able to get the good ending because we don't have a team. And that being said, I did find a way to be able... I did find a video with the good ending as well as all the Zeus files. So we will be covering the good and the bad. That will come towards the end of the game. I'll make sure that, you know, there's title cards that specifically state which is good, which is bad, so on and so forth. For the most part, all the scenes that we'll see at the end are good, aside from the missile launch, as far as I know. But we'll see. I'm you know, we'll get there. And then after that, we'll go over, you know, my final thoughts and so on and so forth. So it's a relatively quick mission. It's funny because they tell you to go with stealth, but or to start with, but like as soon as you kill one person, it's just over. So just bring your stuff. Wait. Well, that's interesting. Didn't know I got that. But anyhow, we're going to take the C8 rifle. Sidearms, we're just going to take the Jericho's. Take the... Yeah, that's fine. All right, well, here we go.
All right, everyone's in position. I'm entering from the north and I'm going straight into the silo.
Good luck. All right, let's do this by the numbers. Pick your targets carefully.
Remember, our primary goal here is to disable and destroy that missile. You have the information Gabe brought back from Montenegro. If you see Ivankov or his top 4 lieutenants, eliminate them. Vladek Savin, he's another one of Ivankov's lieutenants. Good work. Savin is eliminated.
Damn it. Save some for me. Stone, start setting those explosives. Once this missile is disabled, I want to get the teams out of here quickly. Already on it. There goes the alert. Well, no more Mr. Nice Guy. Time to tear him up and spit him out. We need you to find Ivankov's helipad and disable this bird. I don't even want him thinking about getting out of here.
That's Petrenko. Petrenko down.
Giddy up. All the underground access doors are shut down. I'm going to find the bypass system and see if I can get them open. Wait for my signal before you try to come down.
Good work. Gabe Yushikov is down.
Good work. Keep it up. Shit. I'm feeling like a schoolgirl here. Pinned down by fire in the west hangar. Can I get some backup?
So he'll be fine. In fact, if you tried to go and help him, it just makes things worse. But we will go ahead and disable this.
Chopper's disabled.
Good work, kid. Now go kill some Spetsnaz.
Damn.
Keep it up. We're getting closer. I found the access bypass switch. The doors to the underground compound should be open now. The missile's moving into launch position. Get to its launch controls before it reaches the launch platform. We can't let it launch. Move it, people. I've confirmed that Mara wasn't lying. The warhead on this thing is live. Repeat, this is a live nuke. I need you to get to the brig. I'm going to carry Lima out of here, and I need some covering fire.
All right, so we're going down here to get the, this is the only way you can cure the Syphon Filter virus, so. I have no idea where Lima's at.
Oh my god, Gabe, they found where Ivankov was hiding his computer files.
Awesome work.
Elsa and Lawrence will be glad to hear this.
Leon, I've got a Lima. I'm carrying her out to the LZ.
We've got an IV and medkit standing by.
Damn it, I said get over here. Never mind. I'll carry her out without any help.
All right, let's take a listen to our radio.
You're on crowd control. Use silenced weapons when possible. Take out as many guards as you can without alerting them to our presence. Target their commanders. If we can take them out early, we can hurt morale when the firefight breaks out. I'm in the missile approach tunnel. They must have moved up their timetable for launch. It's being prepped now.
Oh my god.
No need to panic yet, but it's time to take off the white gloves. I need you down here. Roger that. On the way. Thank God, it's a Lima. I found a Lima in Ivankov's brig. A Lima? Is she alive? It looks like it, but she looks pretty bad. They must have brought her here from the chateau. Looks like she's been tortured non-stop. Don't worry, hon. We're gonna get you out of here. I'm carrying her out. Get over here and give me some cover.
All right, now we're gonna go up to. All right, so now all we got left, literally, is to guard Gabe. Now, I usually do this with nerve gas, so I decided to try smoke this time. So apologies if it's janky. So far, I haven't gotten a hit, so say what you will. Yep, no problem, bud.
Made it. They'll take care of you.
Oh my god. She looks bad. She'll be alright. Let me work.
You will take care of her.
Yo.
Fine, now get back to work, Stone.
I'm hidden outside the fence. Gonna work my way around to the other side of the compound to set explosives. See if I can keep myself out of trouble. You get back to work. Stone, I found Yushenko's store of viral containers. Sending an LOC to your PDA now. Make sure you plant one of the explosives there. Yes, sir. Blowing stuff up, I'll get right on it. If
this is a little bit better. At least Gabe's not bugged. I was having like a perfect run and freaking Gabe decides that he's gonna crouch walk the entire way. Dude, I don't know what the fuck Gabe is doing up there, but he's fucking taking his sweet fucking time. Jeez, dude. Fucking out of here. That's it. That's all he had to do. I don't know what the hell he was doing last time. Like, he was just standing up there doing fucking nothing. Enemies that spawn behind you is fucking stupid, by the way.
Missiles launching. Clear out.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Damn it! The missile's launching.
Oh my god. We didn't stop it.
No. I damaged the onboard controls enough so that it won't hit Moscow, but it's going to hit somewhere. Time to get out of here. Stone, those explosives set. All ready to go, Chief. Everyone to LZ2. Leon, come get us.
Roger that.
Cobra managed to not get killed.
We should have stopped that missile from launching.
The missile will miss Moscow. I made sure of that. We just saved 10 million people's lives. That's nothing to be ashamed of.
Whose lives did we sacrifice for the lives in Moscow?
I have to attend a summit meeting next week to see if I can stop a war, close up shop, and come home. After everything's settled down, we'll talk about where to go next.
Yes, Mr. President.
He doesn't sound happy.
No, he doesn't. The world's barely been saved from a nuclear war. There's going to be more than just one type of fallout to deal with. We just saved the lives of over 10 million people. Not bad for a night's work.
Hell yeah.
We couldn't have done it without you.
Got one hell of a ceremony planned here in Washington, and another in Moscow. Close up shop and come home. After everything's settled down, we'll talk about this new facility for your agency.
Yes, Mr. President.
Here's the latest reports from the IRC. The cure is working.
A small price to pay. We would not have been able to find the cure without everyone's help.
Where's Dr. E?
She has not yet returned from the special council at the World Health Organization. I have not heard from her for some days.
Have her come see me when she gets back. I want to congratulate her in person.
So it's really over this time. It's hard to believe.
Without the Syphon Filter virus to fight, what do we do?
I'm sure something will come up.
Here's the latest WHO reports. Doesn't look good.
You did the best you could. Where's Dr. E?
She has not yet returned from the special council at the World Health Organization.
Tell her to see me when she gets back.
I wonder if this will ever be over.
Listen to me. We've stopped Ivankov. That's all that matters.
Come on, darling. Let's go get your gear.
Thanks, though. It's good to be going home.
Hey, you! We're supposed to be getting ready for a party. Let's move it. Goodbye, guys.
Where's Dr. Elsa? Damn it.
Where are the files? How did they get into the computer system?
There is a problem.
Yes, of course. And don't let me keep you. I'm always ready.
I doubt that very much.
Yes, sell it. I want to transfer all of my BioWare holdings. Do it now. Yes, all of them. There are always opportunities, Mr. Logan. Always.
Don't think you've gotten away with anything, Logan. You may have the president fooled, but not me.
I found something interesting I forgot to mention. It seems a Washington official has a Swiss account with more than 3 million euros in it.
What's this all about? I've done nothing. What are you doing?
Alex Burcham, we have a federal warrant for your arrest under the Homeland Security Act.
Homeland Security? I demand to see the president! I demand to see my attorney!
Under the provisions of the Homeland Security Act, you do not have the right to an attorney.
All right. And then these are just the credits. There is an extra scene, but in the meantime, I'm going to go over my final thoughts on the game before we delve into the Zeus stuff. Personally, this game is a mixed bag for me. On the one hand, I had a lot of fun with it. The story is great. The story is fantastic, but it's one of those things where I kind of wish they had, voiceovers or something for all those news reports and whatnot. Because like you'll see in the final Zeus file, there's a deposition that is by Elsa that is voiced, which it just would have added a little something. But that being said, story's fantastic, gameplay is fun, but Syphon Filter games have a common thing where the difficulty for the most part's on par until the last like 3 missions, and then it just gets ridiculously hard. I hate that. I hate it so much, where all of a sudden you get shot once and you're dead. But whatever. It is what it is. We prevailed. It does come with, you know, skill and practice. So for the most part, I enjoyed the game thoroughly. I hate the online thing. I hate that the good endings and whatnot are locked behind online play. I think that's cheap and stupid because people don't. Not everyone had access to the internet when this came out. At least not in the sense, you know, that sense. Anyhow, here's the thing though. It's not a bad idea, but don't make that your primary thing. It should always, multiplayer should always be the secondary. Co-op should always be secondary or whatever, you know, to the single player game. I understand what they're trying to do, but I don't like it and I hate it. So that's what I think of that. But that being said, yeah, I mean, luckily we do have access to the good endings and the Zeus files that would be locked away otherwise. Which we'll be going into. We'll play them, you know, once we do get to it. You would have seen the good video versus the bad ending video and so on and so forth. And when we go through the files, I'm going to do the exact same thing. So, personally though, on a personal note, I prefer the bad ending. At least everything aside from the missile can't always save the day. Not only that, but if you look at wanting to make other games, you know, Ivankov got away. Also, Weisinger's in the Wind. Mara's gonna be Mara. You know, but we have, yeah, the missile launching and then that fallout and having to deal with that. And if you're gonna have another game, it just gives you something more to work with. So, but I prefer that ending actually. So, but yeah, love it. I did enjoy it.
Yes. I'll think about it, but I cannot make promises. I think perhaps I am through making promises. Goodbye. Dear Mara, I just wanted to thank you for your help. Without it, I'm sure a lot of innocent people would have died. I've enclosed a copy of the deal you signed with the Myanmar army, which resulted in the deaths of 291 innocent people, including my friend Imani Gray. I wanted to let you retire as we discussed, but in the end the price was too high. I know you'll understand. Signed, Gabe Logan.
Good night, sweetheart.
Well, there we go. Mara is either KIA or MI, one of the two. So, but final thoughts. I loved it. It was a good game. It's what I wanted. It's your Syphon Filter 1 and 1 through 3. They really brought the story together. So, but let's move on to the Zeus files. The final Zeus files on this one. This conspiracy file for deposition. Mara's capture made my decision easy. I told Logan everything. They had to know, as I did, that Hayden was only another layer in a larger organization. When the outbreaks began, I knew I was right. Research was continuing. Mara's escape and the subsequent madness with Ivankov cemented it. I knew that if I worked for Logan inside the agency, I could maybe return to where I had begun so many years ago. As a young woman in Dresden, I could do something with my life that would make a difference, change the world for the better, eliminate human suffering instead of cause it. I felt that destiny had provided me this sense of balance. For every man who was working for something evil, like Syphon Filter, there'd be a man working against it. There had to be a Mara Aramov in the world. Perhaps there had to be an Elsa Weisinger as well. I would do my best to change the world. The DNA codes you obtained from the CDP computer system provided the final clue on how Jandron recombined the original Syphon Filter virus with BSE to form the Omega strain. He was a sick genius to be sure. but a remarkable mind nonetheless. And then final news. Nuclear explosion strikes Kiev. A nuclear missile launched by Chechen terrorists towards Moscow was instead diverted to a remote area near the Sovietsky Islands. Total casualties are not known at this time. Prevailing westerly winds are expected to carry the fallout of the explosion over a wide area. The nuclear disaster in Chernobyl carried dangerous radiation over much of northern Europe. The far-reaching effects of the explosion are difficult to predict, but may have as much of an effect as Chernobyl had on Europe, over an area as large or possibly larger depending. Alex Sokolov, Pravda News Services. Chechen base shuts down. SVR narrowly avoids catastrophe in showdown with CDP. Federal troops moved into a remote base in the Ukraine and dismantled a nuclear missile that had been programmed to hit Moscow. The CDP has threatened to use a weapon of mass destruction against Russia if it did not meet their demands. According to Yuri Gregorov, head of the SVR, Russian intelligence managed to find and stop the CDP just in time. Had the missile been allowed to reach its intended target, Moscow would certainly have been destroyed. And in addition, fallout from the nuclear blast would most likely have reached as far as Western Europe. Alex Sokolov, Pravda News Services. Omega strain cured. WMSFO 2004. Omega, beginning of the end. Scientists have announced a breakthrough in their quest to cure the Omega strain, formerly known as the Weisinger-Mujari Syphon Filter Omega. The researchers for whom the disease is named have said that they discovered a cure and a vaccine. I'm continuing to test the vaccine on volunteers here in Osaka, Mujari says. It's going very well. Officials at the WHO and IRC are preparing the drug now for international release. One obstacle facing vaccination teams is the nature of the terrain in the outlying regions. Without proper immunization, New Plague, WMFO 2004, Syphon Filter, the Omega strain. Omega, viral apocalypse. Medical research on the Omega strain, formerly known as the Weisinger-Mujari Syphon Filter Omega, continues. The researchers for whom the disease is named have said that they are close to a cure, but the key elements that will unlock their complete understanding of how the virus works are missing. We are very close, Mujari says. We can treat the disease, but the drugs are very expensive. Officials in 24 affected countries have agreed to meet to discuss how best to meet the extraordinary budget pressures the disease has placed on medical systems. One man's actions may be responsible for a financial crisis across Europe. Scandal in Zurich. The euro dropped sharply in trading Monday as news of a financial scandal rocked one of Europe's largest banks, Nicolesu Funds Limited. Unconfirmed reports indicate that Mihai Nicolesu was murdered early Monday morning. Investigators are checking to see if the murder is linked to the transfer of funds from hundreds of confidential numbered accounts. Authorities suspect the accounts belong to various illegal organizations, as no one has come forward to complain about theft of funds. Tracing the theft of funds will be difficult since Switzerland's strict policies regarding private funds banking prohibits access to account holder information. It may be years before the truth is found or uncovered. One man's actions may be responsible for a financial crisis across Europe. Scandal in Zurich. The euro dropped sharply in trading Monday as news of a financial scandal rocked one of Europe's largest banks, Nicolesu Funds Limited. Unconfirmed reports indicate that Mihai Nicolesu has vanished after emptying hundreds of secure and confidential accounts of their contents. Nicolesu, a member of one of Europe's oldest and wealthiest families, has access to hundreds of financial accounts from businesses all over the world. Regulatory officials are still struggling to understand why he has absconded. Interpol has issued warrants, but officials confirm that a man with Nicholas's resources will not be caught easily. You guys did an awesome job. We'll deal with the aftermath of the missile hitting Chem. Teresa. I managed to disable the guidance system on Ivankov's missile enough that it did not hit its target, but we were unable to stop the missile's launch. I still consider this a success. We were able to save millions of lives in the greater Moscow metropolitan area. Ivankov and the CDP have been shut down. Finding Lima alive was a miracle. You guys did an awesome job, Teresa. I managed to disable the guidance system on Ivankov's missile, but it turned out to be unnecessary as the team managed to get to the missile launch controls in time to stop it. I consider this a major victory. We were able to save millions of lives in the greater Moscow metropolitan area. Ivankov and the CDP have been shut down. Finding Lima alive is a miracle. Stone, I was going to ask you to think about retiring, especially since we've had to bail you out a couple times. The way you carried Lima out of the compound to the LZ has made me realize that the old mule still has some kick in her. Gabe Logan. Still has some kick in her? You want to arm wrestle me, Chief? I'll put you down. No way I'm retiring. Stone. I don't know, Chief. He was huffing and puffing pretty hard. Lima. Agency personnel. List of the top-ranking I.P.C.A. personnel. Gabriel Logan, Commander-in-Chief. Leon Zing, Chief of Operations. Risa Lipan, Deputy Chief of Operations. Lawrence Mujari, Assistant Chief of Operations. Gary Stoneman, Intelligence Operations Commander. Imani Gray, Investigative Operations Commander. Deceased. Elsa Weisinger, Intelligence Supervisor. Alima Haddad, Field Research Specialist. William Crusher, Intelligence Officer. Deceased. Gina Hunter, Investigative Officer. I.P.C.A. Medical Report. Mission Report File 1832A. Subject Alima Haddad. Agent Weisinger. I've given Miss Haddad a complete physical. She has been through an awful lot, but she will fully recover. She has shown amazing will and resilience in coming through this ordeal. She has great strength. Thanks, Dr. E. I wanted to send this memo to the whole team, thanking you all for your hard work and dedication. It means a lot to us, and to me personally, to know that I have agents I could depend on. We could not have stopped Ivankov without you. Dr. Weisinger has vanished. She was scheduled to attend the Pan-African Conference on WMSFO, but she never arrived. On my return, I have checked all of our files, and they are intact. However, all of Dr. Weisinger's personal files are missing, as are her working notes and her research files. Do not know what to make of this. It is most unlike her. Lawrence Mujari, Assistant Chief of Operations. Mr. President, I thought you'd find this information interesting. It seems that someone in your administration has some very good friends in Europe. Gabe Logan. Gabe. Damn it, I knew that son of a bitch was a snake in the grass when I hired him. Thought the job needed some scales, so I looked past it. Didn't know he was a viper as well. But I guess I get what I pay for. And I'll deal with it. Thanks for bringing it to my attention. Executive Office of the President. By the President of the United States of America, a proclamation. I am ordering all military units to stand down to DEFCON 4. We are currently working with the government in Russia to help them determine exactly how the Chechen terrorists acquired a nuclear weapon. But they are now convinced, as we have ascertained from the beginning, that the US had absolutely nothing to do with the CDP's weapons of mass destruction. The unfortunate launching and detonation of a nuclear bomb on Russian soil, regrettably, has made it impossible for them to accept normalized relations for the time being. I pray that the issue gets resolved in the near future, and that we can once again work together to ensure terrorism never again has its power over us. Warren H. Pierce, President of the United States of America. Executive Office of the President. By the President of the United States of America, a proclamation. I'm ordering all military units to stand down from DEFCON alert status. We are currently working with the government in Russia to help them determine exactly how the Chechen terrorists acquired a nuclear weapon, but they are now convinced, as we've ascertained from the beginning, the US has absolutely nothing to do with the CDP's weapons of mass destruction. Fortunately, our preventing the missile from launching has made it possible for the Russian government to accept normalized relations again immediately. I look forward to working with the President Yudin to ensure terrorism never again has its power over us. Warren H. Pierce, President of the United States of America. Gabe Logan. Gabe, I recognize that you and your people have done a hell of a job on this thing. Stopping the missile from hitting Moscow probably saved us from World War III, and heaven knows I don't want a world war on my watch. But I'm going to ask you folks to close up shop there and head home until this thing blows over. Mr. President, thank you for your support. I wish we could have gotten to Ivankov in time to stop the missile. The team did the best it could. We will of course honor your wishes and return to the US. I wish it could have been under better circumstances. Gabriel Logan, I.P.C.A. Commander-in-Chief. Gabe Logan. Gabe, you and your people have done a hell of a job on this thing. Stopping the missile from launching saved us from World War III. And heaven knows I don't want a world war on my watch. We've got one hell of a party planned for you folks here in DC and another in Moscow. Once you sober up from all the champagne, we'll talk business. Thinking about expanding this little agency of yours. More is better, my father used to say. Warren H. Pierce, President of the United States, Washington, D.C. Mr. President, thank you for your support and kind words. I'll pass them on to the team. I look forward to our discussion as to the future of the agency. We may have stopped this threat. I think we both realize that the work is not done and may never be done. Gabriel Logan, I.P.C.A. Commander-in-Chief. Deposition Transcript Part 18A. This deposition covers everything up until the most recent events, beginning with the outbreak in Carthage. I don't need to recount in detail things that have happened since then. Since I am resigning from the I.P.C.A, I felt it important to tell you why. Once I saw Fadil's files, the one taken from Yemen, I realized that Dr. Jandrin and Dr. Kaufman were the same person. I had suspected as much, as only Kaufman could have performed the work on the virus that I had seen. This would explain why Kaufman vanished. He went to work for Mara and the man who is behind the conspiracy. I could not allow Jandrin to live for reasons I won't go into here, so I altered the serum that Lawrence had been instructed to administer. I knew Kaufman's blood type and knew the serum would kill him. You must take my word that this is a just end for the man. After all he has done, I have done things I regret, but believe me when I tell you, Jandrin's murder is not one of them. By Teresa Lapon, Deputy Chief of Operations. From the desk of Gabe Logan, Casebook Entry 018. All of the pieces have fallen into place. Nekalusu, using his position of power, have been following Farcom's activities for years, financing their research, marketing their drugs. As a financier behind a number of weapon cartels, he saw immense value in the biotechnology, cheaper and easier to produce than nuclear weapons and more easily transported. Nekalusu would not have been surprised the agency wanted the technology as well, but he might not have kept Amara in the loop if he had known how much trouble she would cause. Or maybe he didn't have a choice, needing her to act as his go-between, so that his hands never got dirty. I don't know. Regardless, he has now been neutralized. The Syphon Filter conspiracy is over.
As you well know by now, I did not tell the whole truth in my deposition. And for that, I am sorry. After Mara's visit in Munich, I agreed to meet the project's financier, Mihai Niculescu. The situation was surreal. Mara knew what would happen. I met with Mihai in Montenegro and many times afterwards. I knew what he was. Everything in my deposition I learned firsthand. Mihai could not love any woman. I knew this. He loved what I represented, the ability to control fate, to shape the future. It did not matter what future. To him, all possible outcomes were equal. What mattered was who threw the dice. Yes, I worked very hard to create the cure for the Omega strain. That was the beginning. I have used everything I learned to fashion something new, exciting. I will prove to Nicolescu as I proved to Kaufman. I do have a destiny. I will change the world.
The desk of Gabe Logan, Facebook entry 019. I never saw it coming, and I should have. But she seemed so eager to change, so willing to help. It's not that I trusted her completely. After all, Dr. E had been working with the old agency, and had been involved with the production of Syphon Filter from the beginning. She was also involved in the experiments they were running on Fagin, on Leon, and I'm sure she would have killed me in New York labs if she could have. But I saw in her a glimmer of humanity when she helped Leon in Australia. Maybe she is a victim of circumstances. I don't think she is evil. Worse, she is disturbed in some way we will never understand. Obviously, she had figured out that Jandron was her old mentor, Kaufman, and prepared a serum that would kill Jandron. Why? What did he do to her? Or was she doing it to keep his secrets? And Nicolescu? What did he do to her? What is she trying to prove to him? Now that she's vanished, all we are left with are questions. Where did she go? What is she planning? Where are you, Elsa? Alright, that's that. So, detailed media file, we're only missing the one. So, guess we could go look at our rank now is
You've achieved operations level command. That's a very impressive achievement.
That's funny. When you read this, there's a bunch of text you can't read. Whatever. Alright, well, yeah, and then there's just that. Ratings, final ratings. Yeah. Well, almost had that one. Let's see here. Special ratings.
Seems like I'm getting all the wussy awards to hand out this time. Computer information expert? Geez, hello, Gabe. I do know how to shoot a gun. Okay, sorry. Here, you've earned this rating by proving you're as big a geek as me. Congrats.
I do like that one, actually.
The stealth operations rating is very difficult to earn. Only 5% of the agents working for us have earned it. Wear it with pride.
Being good is important. Being good and fast is more important. This rating proves you've learned that. A tough rating to earn. You'll be the envy of all the agents who see you wearing this patch. Congrats.
My respect for human life extends far beyond my own. But that does not mean that I have left behind the need for self-preservation. Far from it. To be effective in this profession, you must learn to complete your missions with as little injury to yourself as possible. And in this, you have excelled admirably. I present you with this rating.
Even with decreased health, ammo, and all that, yeah, not going to be able to get that. I mean, I could if I wanted to, but nah, once I'm done, I'm done. Accommodations. Let's see here. I think we have all those. All right, medals. Let's see here.
During the Civil War, Congress passed by unanimous resolution the following bill. Resolved by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled, that the President of the United States be, and he is hereby authorized to, create a Medal of Distinction, to be prepared with suitable emblematic devices, and to direct that the same be presented in the name of the Congress to such persons as shall most distinguish themselves by their gallantry in action and other soldier-like qualities. Your commanding officer, Gabriel Logan, has offered me more than sufficient evidence that you have met these requirements, and it is with great pleasure that I present you with this Medal of Distinction. The American people are grateful for your service. Thank you.
Yep. Better be.
Well, like I said, I'm not much for medals. I earned this Medal of Courage in Nam. Would have refused it, except my dear old mom wanted it for her China hutch. Put it right next to all the medals the old man earned in W.W. Deuce. Now I'm glad I took it, because I'm giving it to you. Some folks think I'm getting too old for this business. Well, maybe I am. 10 years ago, I would have pulled your ass out of the fire probably more than twice. It's true, no one lives forever. But the only way I'm retiring is in a body bag. Here, take this. Like I said, it's what I got to give that means the most to me. I want you to have it.
He's got the purple heart though, that means you were wounded. This Medal of Courage was given to me a long time ago for things I don't want to remember. I want you to have it for what you did for me, the agency, and the free world. Seriously, you deserve this every bit as much as I did, maybe more. I like Stone. We already have that one. We did this one already. Yeah, that one we did.
What can I say, you know? You've done a lot for me. My mom, she was so freaked when she found out I hadn't croaked. I owe it all to you. These are pretty tough times, you know. I mean, for people like my mom, who don't speak English so good, and being from the Middle East. Anyway, I want you to have this. It hasn't brought me a lot of luck. Maybe it will do better for you. Thank you.
That one.
Glad to see you, my friend. Speaking on behalf of the Mossad, I present this medal to you with our deepest appreciation and gratitude. You have done much to rid the world of terrorism and to provide stability to a troubled region of the world. May peace be upon you.
I think this is my favorite.
As you know, Lawrence and I have worked very hard to find and develop a cure for the Omega strain of the Syphon Filter virus. When we were awarded the United Nations Peace Award, we discussed it and agreed completely that it should be shared with those who helped us achieve it.
Indeed, without your diligent work in the field, there would be no cure. And my life, as well as the lives of millions of others, would have been forfeit.
So, please accept this award and our thanks.
You have done well.
Like it. Alright, well, there we go. That's all the medals and stuff, and got the Omega strain, so we're good to go. But, yeah. Well, like I said, friends, it's a fun game. I definitely recommend it. Like I said, it's disappointing that, you know, the stuff's locked behind online, but like I said, it's all going to be here for you guys. But, alright, well, what's up next? I believe it's Logan's Shadow. So, at least in the Syphon Filter saga. And then we have Dark Mirror, and then it's on 2 Days Gone. So, at least that's a chart for this one. But, alright, friends, with that being said, I appreciate each and every single one of you. I thank you for hanging out with me through this game and the series, and I look forward to seeing you in the next. So with that being said, stay true to yourselves, follow your hearts. Most importantly, stay human. I'll see you in the next episode. Whatever that may be. Till then, bye-bye.